Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ok, let's go. Oi, gente, hoje eu vou fazer um vídeo super legal com o Amigo Gringo, que vocês já devem conhecer. Ele tem um canal com várias dicas pra vocês aprenderem a não ser puta babacas em Nova Iorque. Fala um pouquinho pra ele sobre o teu canal.
O meu canal é sobre Nova Iorque porque eu moro em Nova Iorque, mas também é sobre a cultura brasileira e cultura americana e esse choque de cultura que acontece quando o brasileiro chega em Nova Iorque. E a gente ensina mais ou menos, como eu disse, como não ser turista puta babaca na cidade. E não é que brasileiro é puta babaca, é que
Sim.
Turista que viaja para outro país sempre faz erros.
Sim, americano vindo aqui também faz
Nossa,
algumas coisas que a gente fica tipo, que roupa é essa pra ir pra praia?
Meias na praia, exatamente.
And I'm gonna ask him some questions in English
Wow.
because you always ask me to make more videos in English and this is a great opportunity because he speaks this
I speak English.
very well since he was born.
Yeah, since I was born.
No,
When I
actually-
was maybe 1 year old, I
Yeah,
started.
yeah. So the first question is it offensive to call you a gringo?
Well, that's an interesting question because actually to us it is a little bit offensive because
I'm sorry.
no. but in Spanish. Because mostly we have lots of Mexicans in the United States, and Mexicans use gringo as almost an insult for Americans. But we know Brazilians don't mean it as an insult. No, we don't know. I know.
Because you know the culture.
Because I know the culture. So just be careful when you call American gringo. You just say, oh, but in Brazil this just means any foreigner.
Now tell us about your experiences in Brazil. Why did you come here and why did you learn Portuguese?
Well, I learned Portuguese because I wanted to learn a new language and I already spoke Spanish and someone told me, the languages are very similar and Brazil está bombando. A economia estava bombando.
It
bombando.
was.
So that was like 2004, 2005. Obviously, the economy is no longer bombing, which is not a word in English.
No,
bombing.
yeah, he's just joking. Okay.
So I learned Portuguese and then I moved to Brazil to be a journalist in 2008.
And we forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video, but he's a journalist in the New York Times, right? Which is very nice. So tell us about this.
Well, for 15 years, I've been writing for the New York Times. I'm not on the staff like fixo, but I'm a freelancer and I write a column every week about travel.
Oh, that's interesting.
Everybody wants my job.
Yeah, it's a dream job. But so you travel to write for your column?
Yeah, the only bad thing is I write about budget travel. So that means, you guys know what that means, I hope. It means cheap travel. So that means I sleep in hostels and I do couch surfing and Airbnb and these kinds of things. And then I write about my experiences.
And so I guess you have traveled to a lot of places in the world.
I have, but not everywhere. I've only done this job for 5 years, and before that, I was mostly traveling in South America. So lots of parts of Asia I haven't been to, lots of parts of Africa. Everybody thinks I know everything. They say, what is your favorite hotel in Rome? And I say,
You
I don't know. I know what a cheap hotel in Rome is.
Because that's your
And
job.
it wasn't that nice, but I can tell you where it is.
And what's your favorite place in the world? So we've traveled so many places.
I have to say a place in Brazil or people are going to... No.
No,
Actually,
be honest.
the most interesting place I think I have ever been is Lençóis Maranhenses.
Really?
That place is unbelievable because it looks like it's a desert and then it's full of lakes. And you can go swimming in the lakes.
Oh, that's amazing. And I've never been there and I'm Brazilian.
Wow,
I
it's really beautiful, yeah.
And how did you learn Portuguese so well?
Well, I don't know. I practiced. Well, I will tell you. Okay, I do know. Because when I started learning, when I learn a language, I take it very seriously. And I want to be good at it. Why should you learn Portuguese and not be good? So I started to listen to radio by internet in New York, which I also recommend for people trying to learn English. Every morning, Tupi IME, but this is like 10 years ago.
But could you understand what they were saying?
No, at the beginning I couldn't understand, but Spanish helps very much, and so you just figure it out little by little, and you're lying in bed and you don't want to get out of bed, so you say, I'll listen to Portuguese, because if I don't listen to Portuguese, I have to get up and go to work.
Okay.
So then I learned a lot like that. I also started reading books as soon as I could start. But that's it. I just tried to do as much as I can, meet as many Brazilians, and I went on every vacation for the next 3 years. I only went to Brazil.
Oh, good. So it's basically reading, listening a lot,
Yeah.
and traveling.
Well, I think that really the number one thing is to do something every day and don't make the excuse, English is so hard. Well, it is hard, sorry, but if you do 1 hour a day or 5 hours a week or something like this, don't just go to class, come home, and forget about English till the next time. And there's so many things you can watch in English, of course, on TV.
Of course. And nice things, because everything that is nice comes from the United States.
That's
no,
what we call
everything,
complexo vira-lata.
No. But I mean, the series
No,
and
of
everything,
course.
it's better than...
Most movies and TV shows
movies,
come from
yeah.
the United States.
We have nice Brazilian movies, okay? I'm sorry if I offended somebody here. And what's your favorite Brazilian accent?
My favorite Brazilian accent?
Yes.
Oh, well, I actually kind of like a Mineiro accent.
But you
Yeah,
don't
it's
talk
cute.
like a Mineiro.
No, well, I don't have a choice. I talk like a gringo.
I can tell you're a gringo, but you speak very
But there's
fluently.
lots of gringos, you know, who speak with an accent that's Gringo Carioca.
Yeah.
Because so many gringos end up in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah.
And I don't do that. I used to do that because my first teacher was from Rio. But then everyone in Sao Paulo said, stop doing that. Don't talk like a Carioca. And of course, I was living here, so I had to do what they said.
Yeah, but is it hard to understand other accents? So the accents that you're not
It
used
is.
to? For example, I'm Gaúcha.
Yeah, well,
is it harder for
No,
you?
actually, it's very interesting. I've been trying to figure out what a Gaúcho accent sounds like, and I can't tell. There's Gaúchos all around me, and everyone knows they're Gaúchos, and only if they say the word guri, I know they're Gaúcho.
No, we have a special intonation.
I don't know what
and
it
we
is.
use tu.
Yeah, well, that's true, but
Cariocas do use tu.
no, I don't know Gaúcho. I don't even recognize it.
For us who speak English as a second language, it's hard to learn the TH sound, for example, because it doesn't exist in Portuguese.
Yeah.
And also the vowels are really hard for us because
Yeah.
you have more vowel sounds than
Oh, yeah?
we do.
Okay.
You have 13 vowels and we have 7.
Okay.
So it's really hard. What's the sound in Portuguese that is hard for you? Or
It's
was hard
the same sound is hard for me as is the best sound, which is that.
I could tell
So
before.
my favorite words to say are like Maracanã
Maracanã.
and Butantã. Love it. If I come back to Sao Paulo, I'm living in Butantã just so I can say that name all the time.
Yeah, it's
so
nice.
great.
But you're doing good.
I do okay, but like when my mother came to Brazil to visit, and she loves pão de queijo because she doesn't eat gluten, so she loves pão de queijo because it's from polvilho. And I told her, you have to say this. You have to go, eu quero pão de queijo.
It's not like that.
But it's the closest you can get, basically, if you're going to try to teach somebody how to do it.
And the last question is related to your channel. So you give a lot of tips on how not to be a puta babaca in New York.
Yeah.
So if you could choose only one thing that Brazilians do and that characterize them as puta babacas, what is it?
Well, one more time, I do not think Brazilians specifically are puta babacas,
Yes,
but tourists are. I'll
got
give
it.
2 things very quickly. First is Brazilians spend a lot of time shopping. And because they spend so much time shopping, they miss a lot of things in New York. So my first recommendation is if you can, shop online before you arrive, have the things delivered to your hotel, so you can aproveitar Nova Iorque. And that would be number 1. And then I think number 2 is this is all tourists, the whole world. They make a list of everything they want to see, and they stay with this list. They do not improvise. And I always think you make a list, and the best vacation is the vacation where you did nothing on the list, because you found lots of great things.
That's a great tip. Bom, então foi isso. Espero que vocês tenham entendido. Eu vou colocar as legendas todas em inglês para vocês praticarem o seu listening.
Ia falar que meu canal, os vídeos, eu uso legendas. Eu faço as legendas.
Que é
não
super difícil, né, gente?
Pode assistir o vídeo em português e ver o inglês traduzido por gringo.
Então, muito obrigada por ter aceitado. Eu adorei.
Karina.
Espero que vocês tenham gostado. E se inscrevam no canal do Amigo Gringo, porque é muito legal. Eu assisto desde que ele apareceu na Júlia Jolie. Já tá muito bom, muito grande, muito legal, tá, gente?
E se gostou do vídeo, dá um joinha,
Um joinha.
Um joinha. Você sabe que em Nova Iorque você brega. Não faça isso na rua, só no vídeo.
Isso eu aprendi já com você. See you. Bye.